Hello everyone, my name is Michael of Rolling a Double 20, and today we're asking, can you beat Fallout 4 with a pipe revolver? So let's get started. I decided to play as Nora, for personal preference. This has nothing to do with the run. I start by assigning my special stats. I mostly put my points into agility and luck, and try to name her Pistol Packing Mama. But that didn't fit, so I just went with Nora Packer. Oh well, maybe next time. Our tragic backstory starts with a bang, and we are put into cryosleep. Talk about hot and cold. But our tragic backstory isn't done as Kellogg kills Nate and takes our baby away. Once I'm free, I grab the ring for some capsulator, and I tried to lock the rat roaches away, but they were very stubborn this time around and nearly killed me. After I trapped them, it was just a waiting game to get the Pip-Boy. After I did a little scavenging outside, I first went to Codsworth so he can clear up Sanctuary for me. I decided to look at the perks to see what I should pick up. Obviously, Gunslinger would just increase my damage. Reflecting back, I should have put 3 points into Charisma for the Lone Wanderer perk. Other perks include Gun Nut, Medic, Toughness, Idiot Savant, and Better Criticals. One perk I was never able to get because it was just too much investment was the Refractor perk. Especially with the ending I went with, I'll go over what I would change at the end. Now it's time to get my weapon so I can actually kill things. Thankfully, I didn't have to look far, for there is a pipe revolver rifle in this duffel bag across the bridge. All I have to do is replace the stock with a grip. As this is only a low level weapon, I can eventually equip most mods with only 2 points in the Gutnam perk.
What are you
I
doing
did
out
meet a
here by
dog,
yourself?
but I sent him on his way. Sadly, the good boy isn't allowed. This has a weird side effect of the mole rats that normally attack you not spawning. Don't worry, there's plenty of XP to farm, like the Concord Raiders. As these are low level raiders, the revolver actually kills them pretty quick. I wasn't necessarily here to save the Minutemen, but mostly to see how my gun does against heavily armored foes. While I did take the power armor, I only used it to help me defeat the Deathclaw, but because of my own cockiness, I forgot about ammo. Honestly, I thought the raiders would drop more than enough to kill Mr. Sewer Claw here. Yeah, the pipe revolver doesn't use the 38, it uses the 45. Something I forgot about going into this run. Meaning I had to keep the death claw in Garvey's range so he could kill it. On occasion, I had to lure the beasts of death to this house here. Hey, don't shoot me, shoot the fucking lizard! Needless to say, this took a while, especially considering Preston's aim. Hell, he even got so bored he jumped from his balcony. Though the Deathclaw punished him severely for that mistake. This is where Bethesda's immortal NPC mechanic saved the run, cause he came back up and started blasting again. My favorite moment is when he fired and dipped out. Preston did make this creature a dead claw. I told Preston I would help him, but I never saw him again. Besides, I just wanted the quest reward XP.
Huh?
Trash Can Carla was my first stop in getting more ammo. In total, she had 95 rounds. While they wouldn't last me the whole game, they were a great start. I should call her Gold Can Carla. I got a good feeling when 4 dogs attacked us. After helping Trudy, I made my way towards Diamond City. I did pause and consider whether or not a blue suit would look good on Nora. I won't lie, my secondary objective was to look as dapper as possible. I did hear the Brotherhood shooting at things, but I ignored them, as they were going to be my enemy in this run. In case you haven't guessed, I'm going for the railroad ending, as I find that the most fitting. And I'm going to need to put some points into strength if I want some ballistic weave. Damn it. I do stop and help the Diamond City security just outside the city wall. Honestly, I find the revolver better up close and hip firing. Playing along with Piper does get me inside, but I never speak to her again outside of the main quest. Speaking of Nick, turns out he's become a damsel in Vault 114, and only we can rescue him. On the way, I created a war zone. Nothing major. Although this battle did drain my stim packs. As soon as I made it to Park Street Station, I went back to Diamond City and refilled my stim packs. I forgot how expensive those fuckers are. So with only 5 stim packs, let's see how well the pipe revolver does against the Triggermen. Well, they do have better weapons, but their only armor is suspenders and ties, so they're not that hard to kill. And some of them drop 45 ammo, as well as picking up the Tommy guns for even more ammo. I at least got a cool shot on Dino. Saving Nick means we have to fight our way to Skinny Malone and Darla. Darla and Skinny weren't as tough as I thought. With those two dead, I returned the AI back to its job and we began working our way to find Kellogg. First step was to get his house key, and when we have his cigars, Nora says arguably the funniest line in the game.
I'm trusting my family's future to a dog. That's it. I'm officially crazy.
I do decide to follow Dogmeat rather than just running to Fort Hagen, mostly hoping for something interesting in this so far mundane playthrough. And oh boy, did something interesting happen as these super mutants charged out of nowhere and attacked me while I was fighting a Yaograi. It was a nice boost of adrenaline, I'll say that much. For some reason, the game glitched and made Dogmeat my companion. I did dismiss him once I realized that. Now was the time for the synth test. Unfortunately, my own low energy resistance mean they could kill me pretty fast given the chance. Which they did, with virtually no points in perception to get the refractor perk. That was a big mistake on my end. Clark tries to get into Nora's head by taunting her, but unfortunately for him, Nora is,
Pistol packing mama!
as for the Kellogg fight, well, he thought because he brought a better revolver, he would win. He was right a few times. Found killing his sins first and taking shots at him worked the best. With that, Act 1 is done, and then the Brotherhood shows off their hot air balloon. Talking to Nick and Piper reveals we have to take Kellogg's brain to the memory den. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip over this. What we learn is that Virgil can help us teleport into the Institute, who is currently in the glowing sea. Hooray! The only noteworthy thing is that I get 7 experience points for no reason. I also shot some scabs and robots. After confirming with the children of Adam that Virgil is here, I go on to cheese the Deathclaw in front of his hidey hole. Just because I have the ammo this time does not mean I'm gonna be stupid when it comes to Deathclaws. Meeting Virgil's gives us the task to track a courser. Finding green tech was easy as ever, and the gunners inside were no match for this rusty piece of pipe. I did quick save a few times. Precisely for that reason. I made sure to get the missile gunner with a sneak crit this time. Meeting and fighting the cursor the first time didn't go so well. This was tougher than the Kellogg fight because I didn't have much energy resistance. My second battle also didn't go well because of healing. Or so I think, because I have no idea when he healed. Even rewatching the footage, I don't hear a stim pack except my own being used. I was afraid I was hitting a brick wall, unable to do enough damage to him before he healed himself. I turned off the game and came back and had a much easier time killing him. I just started blasting. If you're wondering, I did check the difficulty and it was still on normal. So I went to Amari and I told her I need a Corsa chip decoded. She points me to the railroad and the easiest password, except for password. Like any low-level character in Fallout 4, my biggest weakness is missiles, apparently. After a few close calls, I did get past the super mutants and met the underground dorks.
Huh. It spins.
Nora makes it an amazing observation here. Giving them the chip grants me entrance, but if I want the ballistic weave, I need to start helping these machine fetishes out. I think they would like a few fistos. Well, if I want ballistic weave, I have to do quite a few missions for the railroad. The first one, of course, is tradecraft. All we have to do is go kill a bunch of synths and retrieve a device from the old railroad HQ. Simple enough. Also, Deacon is not considered a companion here, so I'm not worried about the rules being broken. Along the way, I bump into Fred and Jules. Surprisingly, I had a silver tongue this time around.
Think about it. If he meant to hurt you, wouldn't he have done it already?
For saving his life, Jules only gives me 14 caps. Apparently, I rolled a 2 on the reward. Of course, I love this line, even though it's not subtitled correctly.
Your base was under a donut shop? That's awesome. Shop.
Who the hell is he?
Can you, can you believe he misgendered me? This microaggression is on the same level as murder. Oh, the humanity!
I thought I was dead. The back entrance is safer, but be ready for Gen 1s and 2s.
Deacon, the back entrance is safer. He was so correct, he had to repeat it.
entrance is safer, but be ready for Gen 1s and 2s.
making it inside me and Deacon fight off a large portion of synths. Grabbing the prototype and bringing it to Desdemona officially makes me part of the Choo Choo Gang. Woohoo! So I forgot how much side questing you have to do to actually get the ballistic weave. You, of course, have to do the jackpot miscellaneous quests, but those quests don't start until you establish the Mercer's safe house. And thus you need to do Boston After Dark and Butcher's Bill. As soon as I fast traveled as close as I could to Bunker Hill, I overheard a firefight. Turns out a group of raiders were fighting crabs. This game is so accurate to Boston, it's uncanny. So Old Man Stockton can't smuggle a synth to safety because raiders are squatting on his favorite church. For Boston After Dark, all we have to do is escort H2 to safety with the quote, help, unquote, of High Rise. High Rise loves to go after any creature or enemy within his hearing range because I had to go save his ass from super mutants. Part of me was happy when a suicider blew him up. We succeeded. Then came the next mission, which is Butcher's Bill. All that's required is to explore the old safe house. Also, Pam tasked me with establishing Mercer. Two parts I can get done in one go. For some reason, Pam chose the Starlight Drive-In as my Mercer safe house. Works for me, as the only thing here is mole rats. Still, Pam asked me to secure the cache, meaning I am very close to getting the ballistic weave. I also grabbed the armorer perk so I can actually upgrade my weave. Finding the cache was easy. Though I didn't stay, it started to rain bodies and guns. I do not need this cursed shit right now. Okay, apparently I didn't need to complete Butcher's Bill, despite what the wiki told me. Maybe I just needed to have it at least started. Anyways, I spent some time looking over the fashion of my clothes. For now, I went with this suit. Do you think it suits me? I ain't too tied up about it. Sorry, these are a little off the cuff. I know these jokes aren't very formal. Finally return to Virgil and tell him the cursor chip is decoded, and he gives me the plans to the teleporter. This whole ballistic weave thing made my playthrough roughly 5 hours longer than it needed. I, of course, hired the railroad to build the interceptor. One thing that may have slipped my mind was that I was also going to be doing a lot of Institute quests as well. 9.5 hours in, I finally teleport inside the white halls of not so slavery. It's just imprisoning people we've given free will. But they aren't people, so it's okay to use them as free labor. Message Patriot to get the railroad quest started. Father says I have the wrong impression of them, except they do kidnap people, send super mutants to the surface to kill people, and treat free thinking synths as slaves. But we are the problem. Father then tries using emotions to manipulate us. Since I'm going through the railroad ending, I can't kill Sean right now, as much as I want to. Plus, I wanted to get Virgil's cure. The Assaultron proved tricky. My only strategy was to aim for the face and dip behind cover from the lasers. Still, I managed to grab the serum and immediately went to talk to Patriot so we can get this whole revolution of the machine going. And talking with Z1 and Liam gives us the quest to find a passcode in Cambridge. I didn't even bother taking a tour, I just started blasting. The ghouls weren't much of a threat. Hell, I even grabbed the unique power armor just to sell for more ammo later. On my way to help reclaim Gabriel, I bumped into another invisible enemy. This time it was a Mr. Handy. What fixed it was just aiming my gun. Of course, when I do arrive, X6 is busy shooting a vertibird. Actually, I don't blame him as this one can fucking teleport. Only the Institute has that tech. This was also good practice for when the Brotherhood attacks the railroad later. X6 joins as a temporary companion and we reclaim an Institute Roomba. Well, that's how they view the synths. This quest is counterintuitive for the railroad. But it aids the undercover bit, so whatevs, right? Sorry, I clenched there. Don't ask how I survived, nor how that didn't destroy the platform. I just used the recalled code and killed the others. I returned to the railroad to restock, and Des has to get something off her chest.
Half of you know this already, but something so big. I can't ask people to keep it secret any longer. The rumor is true. One of our agents has made it inside the Institute.
I particularly hate this because she's supposed to be a top secret leader of a top secret organization, and yet here she is putting me in danger. And if any of these agents are Institute spies or are later turned, and only one person fits the description, me. And here I thought using a zip gun was stupid. Anyway, we tell Desdemona's new plan to Z1, going behind Liam's back. Also, I trade some new treads. Nothing Institute suits me, Oh well, it's time for Bunker Hill. And I immediately kill X4. Only the Brotherhood were hostile to me. It should be pretty clear that I let the synths escape and made my excuses to Sean. I gave Liam the code, and now Z1 needs a day. Might as well continue the Institute plot for now by attending the director's meeting, which leads us to mass fusion. I waited and talked to Z1 first. All he asks is that I drop off weapons and kill some guards. The mass fusion quest starts, and I am approaching the end game now. So, up to this point, the Revolver did hold up quite well. However, against multiple Brotherhood power armored goons, well, I found breaking their helmets and shooting them in the head was the only consistent way to kill them. For some reason, the button to open the door didn't work, but turns out there were two elevators.
Going down.
Bethesda magic. Well, it worked this time, grabbing the agitator, spawned a sentry bot and two assaultrons, and this is the point where the damage of the revolver started to fall off. Keep in mind, I have been upgrading it throughout. Allison finishes the sentry off after I had weakened it, but the two assaultrons proved tougher as I couldn't hide from them. I initially tried to escape, but when that didn't work, my plan was to continuously jump up and over the fences. It didn't work at first. Not until I crippled the legs. Then it became trivial to kite and kill them, as well as giving me enough time to avoid their insta-kill lasers. You bet after that, I looted everything I could to sell for healing supplies. So after that, I gave the agitator to Fillmore. Why did she come with me again? Oh well, she served as a distraction, I guess. I get the pinned quest, and after the next director's meeting, the Brotherhood attacks the railroad HQ. Oh, and I finally gave Virgil his cure. The Brotherhood learns the backroom's password is password, and lo and behold, I have to fight them. For the power armored ones, I use the same strategy as before, break their helmets and aim for their head. I of course take them out and assist Dez in taking out the Pridwin. I did some shopping first. I also used Deacon to test gravity. Turns out it's real. They sent a few knights to stop us, but once again, all I have to do is break the helmets and get in the headshots. As for the Pridwin itself, I just planted the bombs, then booked it. Had to reload a few times, but that's just because I didn't want to fight the Brotherhood anymore. This playthrough is almost over anyways. Bye bye, Pridwin. I'll see you in another playthrough. The final stretch was the Institute, and since don't have nearly as much armor as the Brotherhood, this was far easier. More chaotic, mind you, but easier. Father decides not to help me, so I shoot him in the head. Trying to clear the final room killed me once. Damn missiles. I did kill all the enemies and put the pulse charge on the reactor. After taking Fake Sean, I blew up the Institute, proving yes, you can beat Fallout 4 with only a pipe revolver. Then the game crashed, trying to show the end slide. Honestly, just the perfect ending for a Fallout game. As for any advice if you want to try this out yourself, well, just generally keep your gun upgrading. Though it will start lose effectiveness eventually, but if you're only tackling the main story like me, it'll do the job. Not bad for a zip gun. I've been your host, Michael of Rolling a Double 20, and I'll see you next time. Oh wait, I was gonna go over what I would change. Honestly, the only thing I would change is putting points into perception so I can get the refractor perk. That's it. Bye.